My name is Ethan Crowley, and my wife and I have been here in Cambodia for a month now, and we're here to adapt the Hope video into Brau. Just deciding to come was one thing, but then there were funding and whether we need a mission board or a sending church, and so then God just opened all those doors and allowed our home church, Hampton Park, to send us, and opened up funding and prayer support and an office to film in and equipment and everything else. So just 7 or 8 months, we've gone from working a business job in South Carolina to kind of being over here in the middle of nowhere, shooting video of indigenous people. Mars Hill is the production company that produced The Hope, and they have a process. They've made it really easy for people like me to adapt it.
It's a video that's been done in many languages around the world.
So they have the Hope video is set up sort of in 2 layers.
And it's someone basically narrating through creation to Christ story of the Old Testament all the way to Christ, but it's done in a real culturally appropriate way.
The back layer is the creation to Christ, and then in front of that you'll have narrators or storytellers who are guiding you through the process of learning about Christ. We're sort of going through the process of vetting narrators and shooting them in front of a green screen, and then we'll place them into the video. So when a Brau person looks at the final product, Lord willing, they won't see anything at all that reminds them that this is not a video made specifically for them.
It's very appealing to the minorities to watch. They love to watch video these days, actually. You can go to the most remote village and they watch video movies at night on their usually generator-powered television sets. And so it'll be very appropriate then. We can give out DVD discs to people, and they'll be able to hear the gospel in their own language on video, and I think a lot of people will watch it.
Right now we're in the very early stages of the process. So we have about 2 or 3 minutes, I think, 2 or 3 minutes of footage that were of narrators that we're splicing into the Hope video, and so we still have another. I'm trying to think of how long it is total. Another 78 minutes, I think, at least. So we still have a long ways to go. There are always challenges. The main challenge, by far, is the literacy rate probably among the Brau people. So the narrators that I'm working with have only read for a few years, and they're not very smooth. And of course, they're not professional actors, and so the most challenging part is to get them to read smoothly. And then, of course, there are technical difficulties. Power goes out. Multiple times I've needed to download a program off the internet, and the internet's down for a couple days, and so everything grinds to a halt until I can download that. Heat, it's hot. When you close all the doors and windows to the studio, then it gets really hot and people start sweating, and then you have to worry about sweat on the actors' faces. So there's things like that as well. Right now, Laos is a closed country. They're communists and they're closed off to Western influence. But there are Brau across the border, and through this video, I think God can be made famous even in a place where there are no Christians at all, and where Christians aren't allowed. And I think this can infiltrate where missionaries can't go. Do you mind if I answer this? Because you might be asking, it might be about you guys.
Go ahead. Let us know how we can pray for you.
Sure. Hey, Kevin.
Tell him that he's on camera.
I'm actually, okay, where were we?
We were just talking about prayer requests.
Okay, how can you pray for us? Lots of prayer. We need lots of prayer. Like the main prayer request would be for God to allow us to film our scenes quickly, because we have a time constraint. We have about 6 months here to work it with, and to allow the narrators to have time to prepare and to read and narrate smoothly and with passion, and without too many problems as they read, mistakes, verbal clutter. So that's the main thing, that God would just allow us to be able to actually capture their image. And then, of course, there are a myriad of other requests as well, that God would help the testimony of the narrators. You can choose somebody who seems to be a strong Christian, and 20 years from now, who knows what they'll be up to. So that's a huge prayer request, that God will maintain the testimonies of these narrators. And then, for personally, for my wife and me, that God would give us a passion and remind us if there's times of discouragement, when we're not able to, when the process of shooting is really slow and there are a lot of obstacles, that God would remind us of the final purpose and His glory. And the reason why we're here, which is so that God's name will be praised in places where God is not known. Your gift is significant. Your gift, your prayer, your monetary gift is incredibly significant because there will be people in heaven, I believe, because of your prayer that you'll see in heaven that are there because of you. And so your prayer is incredibly important to us.